Good evening, everyone. Curry College, Chief for the forecaster, Joe Shaka. Take a look at the cloud chart here of what is a Hurricane Matthew, a 75-mile-per-hour storm moving off to the west at 17. You can see here in the visible satellite. This thing is definitely going to develop, continue to develop, and it's going to intensify as it comes west next couple of days. Here's the AVN. You can see a nice outflow channel on the north and eastern side. So again, this thing is breathing. It's taking in air and it's evacuating air throughout the top. So that is a very good sign that this is going to rapidly intensify. Even though there is some southwest shear here, that southwest shear is going to continue to decay over the next couple of days. Here's my track intensity forecast. I have this as an 85-mile-per-hour hurricane tomorrow afternoon. Saturday, I bring it to 90. Sunday, 100. Monday, I get this to 110. Tuesday in the Bahamas. Hopefully, I'm wrong, but this could be a monstrous system for the Bahamas. I get this to 140-mile-per-hour hurricane, a Category 4, and then by Wednesday, it's going to be off the southeast coast as a 125 major hurricane. But again, this is going to major hurricane status by early next week. And you can see a little higher confidence in the track. Here is the National Hurricane Center track, very similar to what I have, but I am a little faster than the National Hurricane Center at this time. Again, they get this to 100-mile-per-hour hurricane Tuesday and a 95 on Monday. But again, this thing's coming north, no question about it. Here's the ensemble spaghetti plots. You can see a very quick turn to the north over the next 4 to 6 days. And it's going to be very interesting to see if this thing can turn out. And believe it or not, the European ensembles are starting to really latch onto this thing. This could actually end out maybe towards Bermuda, maybe in about 6 to 8 days or so. But again, after about 30 hours, it's going to be very, very interesting to see here exactly the evolution of the shortwave trough that's coming through the northeast Gulf of Mexico to see if this thing can get kicked out or get locked in and get pulled all the way up the coast, maybe into New England. And that's still a very strong possibility that we are talking a significant landfalling or very close tropical entity middle of next week in New England. Here's the GFS ensembles, a 12Z run. You can see a little further to the south and east with the cluster just south of the benchmark. I mean, still, this is a big system. We're going to have impacts, but it would not be as big of a deal if it was obviously inside or coming over in New England. But again, this is still very close for comfort. Hopefully, over the next couple of days, we continue to see a shift off to the south and east, that there won't be much impact from this system at all next week. Here's the Canadian. Obviously, this would be a problem because almost every member hits New England, and you can see how intense they are on the side. So we're talking something that's most likely a 2 or a 3, Category 2 or Category 3 hurricane coming in here maybe next Wednesday or Thursday if the Canadian ensembles would be correct this far out. Here's the Hurricane Wharf. You can see next 120 hours. You can see the sharp turn that's going to be coming, and it's going to end up over Cuba. But let me tell you this. If you're in Eastern Cuba, you are taking action because we know this thing's coming and likely to be a major when it gets there. And then after that, this is going to be a devastating hit, I think, for the Bahamas early next week. And then obviously the variation of track after that. Here's the Hurricane Wharf on jet stream level. You can see next Tuesday, October 4th, the hurricane is in the eastern Bahamas. And here's this trough that's coming down to pick it up and make it the turn north, avoiding the track in the eastern Gulf of Mexico. But again, this position of this trough is going to be very, very important relative where the storm location is here. So, I mean, this is still a very complex situation to work out. But what the European does, which is very interesting, it's said, is it keeps it down here longer. This part of the trough goes by. It continues to mill around Cuba and near Jamaica. This trough here that's coming into the Rockies next Tuesday, by next Thursday and Friday, this trough's over the Ohio Valley. The system gets in the Bahamas on the European in 7 days instead of in 4 days. This trough comes down, picks the storm up, sends it to New England, then sends it out. So, I mean, it's going to be a very, very interesting evolution of both of these troughs to see, again, where Matthew's going to be relative to both of these troughs and other interactions that could go on. But again, if you're watching us from Florida, Jamaica, the Bahamas to New England, I would certainly keep an eye definitely on the system, obviously, as the system evolves and we get better information known on it anyway. But I will say this about the GFS ensembles. The GFS ensembles are doing a very, very good job with the handling so far of the system, have nailed the intensity coming into the Central Caribbean over the last couple of days regarding its intensity. Again, latest pass from the aircraft reconnaissance was 992 at the 5 p.m. advisory. So again, I mean, this thing is definitely strengthening. This is probably going to go sub 990 by I think possibly. It's a 717 now, so maybe either at the 8 or 11 o'clock advisory, this thing could go sub 990, maybe to sub 988, 987. But again, this is a system that is going to be very, very hard to forecast for the next couple days until we get a better handle on the overall pattern. That's it for now, and thank you for watching.